My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm reviewing Rose de Russie, which I think means Russian rose. And I bet Tom Ford didn't realize that before this crazy, horrible war and violence. Anyway, this is £178 for 50ml. Oh, it is Russian. Rose de Russie blends the essence of Russian black leather with intense florals for an opulent, dramatic scent. Rose on rose extract, white pepper oil, black leather accord. So when I write the notes on when I release a fragrance, I try and make sure it's really easy to understand. And it's quite difficult. And I personally wouldn't write that stuff. I try to just make it easy and put the notes in the little box. So I'm more drawn to this colour than the other two. Do we have our bottles of Rose de Russie? Are we engaged with the higher self? Let's get testing. I've been testing all orientals and florals, so I'm going to smell like a delightful flower garden after all of this. I prefer this one out of all three. I'm going to say that straight away. I prefer this one. Darker, richer, smoky. The smokiness is galacwood, and galacwood is solid at room temperature. It's like a browny green. It gives a smokiness to it, and it's brilliant in rose accords actually to give more sort of smokiness to it, woodiness to it without being woody, because it can smell a bit woody actually. But that's what you're picking up, that sort of smokiness to it. There's none of the leather things in it, none of the sulfurine, all of that stuff, no beta ionones, all of that. So it's just relying on the galacwood to give it that smoky, leathery, and that means the galacwood is quite high up in the formulation. More woody than the other ones, more substantial, more musk heavy, which is why I'm drawn to it. Isosu, perfini, ethyl alcohol, citronella, all of that stuff is within all of them, but they're all different combinations. Please put below whether the Perfumer was separate for all three or the same. I'd be very curious. I would hope that they would give a Perfumer a brief and get them to design three. I think that's super exciting, and that's like shows heightened creativity. I think if it's one Perfumer who did all three, I'd love that. And that's kind of what I'd love. And really I would hope that the Rose Prick Perfumer would be doing all these three if they're supposed to be layered. I kind of get the idea that they're supposed to be layered over a heavy rose-based formulation. That's kind of what I'm feeling now. I think this is better than the other ones, if I'm honest with you. There's more going on about it. It's more darker, more sensual. It has more elevation. It's sort of more robust. It has more sillage to it. You can smell the cashmere and the ylang-ylang, the geranium. There's more going on. It's more dark, more sensual, more adult only, less simplistic. The others smell very simplistic. Much, much more elevation, much cleaner to it. So men could wear this one. It doesn't really smell of like Turkish Delight. I love Turkish Delight. Turkish Delight or Rosewater, which I think is not very nice at all. So this, I think, absolutely men could wear, and it's constructed in a way that isn't really rose-like. If that kind of makes sense. It has the rose constituents to it, the rose aroma chemicals, but it has much other things in it to smell suitable for being unisex as well. So men absolutely could wear this. I don't really think men could wear the other two because they were so light, eerie, and smell of like rosewater. So there's more acetates in it and more musks in it to help give that elevation and sharpness to it. The smokiness to it is absolutely more suitable for men as well. It doesn't really smell of rose. I don't think of it as a rose fragrance. I kind of would think of it as a smoky Middle Eastern fragrance. It's kind of what this is suitable for, I think. I absolutely think men could wear this. It has some aroma chemicals to help give elevation. So this is much more elevating. And what you're smelling to give that elevation as it dries down is mugwort or artisma. And mugwort is horrible when you smell it. But in perfumery, it can help to give elevation through quite dense raw materials. And that's what's happening with this one. On to my final thoughts. Safe, legal, compliant, which I love. And the reason I go on about that is because there are some companies out there that don't bother with any legal stuff. Really, I don't think that's on. I have to do it. All companies have to do it. It's quite a big expense. So there are some companies out there that don't put any of the allergens on. So if always when you're buying stuff, look at a box, it should have the allergens on. It should have all of this stuff. If it doesn't have this, put it down and walk away. So I hope you're all starting to look. It's like shows that the company is putting your safety, it's professional. It's kind of what we want. We don't really want unprofessional companies walking around. So this is really kind of what we want. This is like I sort of had a regulatory chemist doing all of this. So I love it. This was my job prior. So I always did perfumery, but my job before my business was safety assessing, microbiology testing, all of that stuff. So I'm quite keyed up on that. The price, I think this is more in keeping with the price, but £180. It's quite high up. This lasts longer than the others. The other two were gone after half an hour, can't really smell anything. This one, slightly more projection, slightly more long lasting. But again, I didn't get anything more than an hour, 2 hours from it. And after 2 hours, it just dried as a smoky skin scent. And all you really can detect is the glackwood at the base of it. So that all you're getting is like a slight floral glackwood. This is better than the other two. But as I said, maybe at the other two reviews, with rose-based fragrances, I'm going to be more critical. I'm going to be more observant because I love them. I think this is okay, if I'm honest with you. A little bit disappointing. I don't know, I thought it was going to be, I love the rose prick. I think that smelled like a beautiful rose fragrance. Noir de Noir is lovely. Oud Fleur, I love that one. One of my friends wears that one, so I love all of them. And I'm kind of hoping that Tom will go back to that era, which I think was gorgeous, and put something out, which is like nice to wear. This is drying down too smoky for my liking. So I'm going to mark this as 7 out of 10. I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's better than the other two. But I think it's not sweet enough. It feels incomplete. And maybe, as I keep saying, layered over the top of the rose prick, like he said, it's amazing. But I kind of think that for £180, you should be selling stuff that's complete. But that's my opinion. What do you think of all these three? Have you tried layering it over a rose prick? Do you love it? Tell me your thoughts below. So if you love that review, thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands, and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon.